Hey guys, welcome to the first part of this week's Coffee and Hero Show, taking you through all of the new graphic novels, omnibuses, compendiums, hardcovers, and all the good stuff that's come into the store this week. Going out for sale this Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. Combination, as always, of topping up some back stuff, getting new stock in. We're obviously loading up heavily for Christmas coming up. So yeah, we want to make sure the store is as packed out as possible, as much choice as possible for you guys coming up to the Christmas period. So yeah, kick things off. DC have released a new compendium this week of Wildcats. So of course this is from Jim Lee, Brandon Choi. You also have the likes of James Robinson, Travis Charest working on this. And these compendiums, DC are starting to put more of them out. You know, you think of your Nightwing, One Night in Bloodhaven, your Robin, Tim Drake, etc., etc. So for Wildcats, this contains Wildcats 0 to 13 and 15 to 20. It contains specials, trilogies, source books, Team 1, Stormwatch issues, Cyberforce issues, and all the rest. So yeah, I mean, Wildcats, of course, was launched in 1992, launched back in the days of Image Comics formation. And then obviously Jim Lee brought it over to DC. Next up, we have Manifest Destiny hardcover. I think I may have had this in before, but always worth bringing up again. This is a great series. I actually only ordered this because I didn't realize they were available. But Volume 2 was on our FOC list one week. And I remember reading this back in the day, so I made sure to get it in. So in 1804, Captain Meriwether Lewis and Captain William Clark set out an expedition to explore the uncharted American frontier. This is the untold story of what they discovered lurking in the wilds. Great stuff. Next up, I mean, I talked about these enough last week, but I'm bringing it up again for the simple reason that we got 16 copies in last week. We were down to 4 in the space of a week, so I got another 10 in this week. Another 5 of the Jim Lee cover, the DM cover, and another 5 of the traditional George Perez cover. So again, DC versus Marvel. Again, these are not going to be printed anytime soon, guys, so if you even have the passing interest in them, we're doing our best to make sure we get loads in stock and building up a good stock so that if it comes to it down the line, we do have them. Next up, we have the Moon and Serpent Bumper Book of Magic by Alan Moore and Steve Moore. So step up now, gentlemen and ladies, come this way. Here in the Moon Serpent Grand Egyptian Theatre of Marvels, we have curiosities to suit your every inclination, demonstrations and displays, unique sensations, and a previously unimagined sexual extremity included in your modest cover and fee. Yeah, this is a book long in development from Alan Moore. A lot of people thought this book would actually never see the light of day, to be honest. But here we are, it is available, and it is available in glorious hardcover. Next up, we have Omnibus of Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Hard Traveling Heroes. So, I mean, this was a very acclaimed run on this. This is written by Denny O'Neil, art by Neil Adams, Mike Grell, so on and so forth. This contains Green Lantern issues from 76 to 87, 89 to 123, etc., etc., etc. Tons and tons of stuff here. You've got nearly 24 never before collected issues in this as well. Hundreds of pages of stories never before collected in color, and an extensive cover gallery as well. So yeah, this is the first time it's ever been collected in its entirety into one massive omnibus. Next up, we have Punisher Max from Jason Aaron and Steve Dillon. So this is the Punisher Max run that followed Ennis's run, essentially. Punisher Max 1 to 22 and Punisher Max Christmas Special number 1. And then we finish off this box with one of the books of the year, if you ask me. Batman The First Night from Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins. This is Batman at the start of his career. This is Batman back in 1939, which is when, of course, the character was created. You know, the world is still recovering from World War I, World War II is on the horizon. Absolutely brilliant book, cannot recommend that enough. As I say, if you like the Black Label stuff, I do always think the hardcovers are the way to go. They're sort of much nicer on the bookshelf and much easier to store than the single issues can be, but that is genuinely a Batman book not to be missed out on. Very, very highly recommended. So just fire all these away here. So we move on from that one, and as I say, we're getting that much stock in. It's maybe not so much of a surprise that we then have another full box for your viewing pleasure. So kick things off, we've got the direct market exclusive covers in for Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives. So we already had the traditional covers in, but these are the DM exclusive covers there. So just in case you fancy that as opposed to the regular cover. We have Street Fighter 6, the manga. in stock. The new year of fighting games begins here in the official Street Fighter 6 prequel manga. We have Disney books, so Disney Villains, Hades. This contains the first 5 issues of that. Disney have been doing all these sort of Disney Villains series and then collected them nicely there. We have Saga, the volume 1. So this is part of a new size, a new format that Image have been doing. So they've already done the first 5 volumes of Invincible. Obviously moving on to Saga. It wouldn't surprise me if they move on to some other books as well. This essentially is the first 6 issues. And again, I think it's to appeal to that manga market, you know, that easy to carry, nice reduced size format. Next up we have Teen Titans Starfire, so graphic novels for young adults. Again, this is part of a series. They've been doing sort of Raven and they've been doing Beast Boy and stuff like that. So that's the turn of Starfire. We have the next Mighty Marvel Masterworks for Amazing Spider-Man. I believe this is the 5th volume. This contains Amazing Spider-Man issues 39 to 46 and the annual number 3 as well. So yeah, love these editions. I think that's something Marvel's been doing really, really well. Apologies, I'm not 100% today, hence the stiffy. Next up we have Klaus from Grant Morrison and Dan Mora, The Life and Times of Santa Claus, as well as Santa Claus was a badass. And look at that creative team, Grant Morrison, Dan Mora, come on. Back in stock is Die Volume 3, The Great Game. So again, part of our commitment to back stock, making sure we have complete runs of things. So Die 1, 2 and 4 is up there. Die Volume 3 back in stock. Next up, Batwoman Elegy, beg your pardon, from Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams. I believe this was around the start of the New 52. Really, really good stuff. This has some of the best art you will ever see in a mainstream comic book. So this is the first 7 issues. So I beg your pardon, this was pre-New 52, about a year and a half before. First 7 pulse-pounding, visually stunning issues of their landmark collaboration, which was Detective Comics 854 to 860, as well as plenty of special features as well. Next up, Captain America Volume 2 from J. Michael Straczynski, Carlos Magno and Jesus Says. J. Michael Straczynski continues to redefine Captain America's heroic legacy. Next up, Miss Marvel, The New Mutant. This is Volume 2. This was the second Miss Marvel book that came out around this time, which was called Mutant Menace. This contains all 4 issues and all collected into one as she embraces her new status as a mutant. Gunslinger Spawn, Volume 5. So this collects issues 25 to 30 of Gunslinger, written by Todd McFarlane with art by Dexter Soy, who's the new Nightwing artist at the moment, and new ongoing artist Carlo Barberi. A few more trade paperbacks for you here. We have Amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt. So we got the Blood Hunt, over there. Blood Hunt trade paperbacks in recently, which of course was Marvel's vampire-based event. There was plenty of good tie-ins to that. So here is the Amazing Spider-Man issues. 3 issues in total of the Blood Hunt itself, plus an issue of Amazing Spider-Man that tied in, and 2 issues of Miles Morales all in one. Latest Ultimate book hits graphic novel this week with Ultimate X-Men, Fears and Hates. So this contains the first 6 issues and material from Ultimate Universe number 1, all from Peach Momoko. Ghostbusters Back in Time. This was a 4-issue miniseries set a year and a half after the events of Ghostbusters Afterlife. The Ghostbusters are officially back in business and head back to where it all began, New York. Next up we have Ghost Lore, which is Volume 3 of this. This is from Cullen Bunn, who's always an acclaimed horror writer, art by Leo Max, and this is all about what if ghosts were haunted themselves. But yeah, Volume 3 of that, Boom Studios. Next up we have Scarlet, so the latest in the Energon Universe stuff. Again, it comes with 2 different covers. We have the traditional cover, which is, I think that's the traditional cover, and that's the DM variant. Usually they do say on the back of it, but it doesn't seem to in this case. But I will do the research and I will find out. Pretty sure this is the DM cover, and then that's your traditional cover. Again, the latest 5-issue series that ties into the G.I. Joe Transformers Energon universe. Next up, we have Green Hornet Year 1 Omnibus. This is from Matt Wagner and Aaron Campbell. This collects the complete 12-issue series. Also features cover galleries from the likes of John Cassaday, Matt Wagner, Alex Ross, and more. Next up, we have Elseworlds Batman Volume 3. So continuing to take heroes out of their usual settings and putting them into strange times and places. This one includes Batman Brotherhood of the Bat, Batman Dark Knight of the Round Table 1 and 2, Batman Night Gallery, Batman Mask, and Batman Scar of the Bat. So this features Tales of Batman and Ellie Ness taking on Al Capone, Future League of Batman protecting the Night with an iron fist, Mysterious Knight defending Camelot as an armor-clad bat, and a 19th century Batman as well. Next up, we have a couple of epic collections. So we have Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Life, Web of Death. This is volume 28, and this covers 1995. The Clone Saga continues in a tumultuous era for Spider-Man. This contains Web Spider-Man 1 to 20, 123, Spider-Man 54, 56, Amazing Spider-Man 397, 399, Spectacular Spider-Man issues, Unlimited issues, Funeral for an Octopus, Clone Journal, and everything in between. Next up, an epic collection for Captain America. This is volume 16. This covers 1990 to 1991. This is Captain America 372 to 386 and a couple of annuals as well. Captain America joins the war on drugs. And of course, who's he fighting on the back? Iron Man, because the dude's favorite, you know. Next up, we have Jonah and the Impossible Monsters, the complete collection. This was a cracking book from Chris and Laura Samney. Chris Samney, of course, is so well known as the artist of Firepower, Mark Waid's Daredevil, Black Widow. He's currently doing Batman and Robin Year One. This is one that he both wrote and drew. It's an all ages book, perfect for the little ones, but also brilliant storytelling for the older reader as well. Winner of the 2022 Mike Waringro Spirit Award. Next up, we have The Goon, Bunch of Old Crap, an omnibus, so volume 1. So they're starting to do reprints of this, putting all the Goon stuff together, which is great to see. This, of course, is from Eric Powell, both writes and draws, 5-time Eisner Award-winning series, and this is it from the beginning. And then we finish off with a brand new format from DC Comics this week. This is essentially DC's version of the Epic Collection. It's called DC Finest. First of all, I have to say, spine design, always an important thing in this store. Looks very, very slick. Pictures of the characters there, the era's there, the DC Bullet, the greatest logo in the history of comics. Yes, it matters. And then obviously DC Finest and what they're doing. So it's no surprise that the first 2 books they're doing in this new format. I mean, they have committed already. I think there's another 20 at least volumes already solicited. So of course they start off with Batman and Superman. So for Batman, it is Batman Year 1 and Year 2. So you get your Year 1 stuff, which is your Frank Miller, your David Mazzucchelli, one of the greatest comics ever released in the history of comics. But you also get DC Finest Batman Year 2, which was mostly serialized through Detective Comics from what I remember. And it was really good as well. It's Mike W. Barr and Alan Davis. Batman considers quitting his crime-fighting career when he meets a charity worker. But the reappearance of the Reaper, Gotham's original vigilante, will force Bruce to choose between his own desires and what the city needs. So, yeah, I really love the format. As I say, I think they look great. They actually are a $5 cheaper than the Marvel ones as well, which I think is important. You know, I've spoke about this before. Marvel have started to announce their sort of rival to the compact stuff that DC's doing, and DC are knocking that out of the park. £9 volumes, complete runs, and Marvel are coming back with $15 ones that are incomplete stories and all sorts. But anyway, I'm not going about it too much because we'll finish off with the last DC Finest, which is Superman, the First Superhero. So this is covering 1938 to 1940, Champion of the Oppressed. DC Finest Superman, the First Superhero, collects all the Man of Steel's earliest adventures from Action Comics 1 to 25, Superman 1 to 5, and New York's World's Fair Comics #1, including Clark Kent's first origin tale, a scientific explanation of how his powers work, and more. So yeah, I really like the format, and I'm looking forward to more and more of those coming in as well. So yeah, that's going to do it for this week. As you can see, plenty into the store, going out for sale from this Wednesday. Again, we're stocking up like crazy coming up to the Christmas period. Of course, don't forget we have gift vouchers in the store. A lot of guys like to go for those. They're obviously afraid of, picking stuff up for people that they've already got. Keep in mind our signing with Tini Howard, which is on the 20th of November on the Wednesday. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff to look forward to in the store. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the store throughout the week and the coming weeks. Until then, take it easy.